Hello friends, welcome to the online education. This is the lecture number 7 and my subject is C502 Organic Chemistry and Spectroscopy. Now we have learned about the in previous lecture the methylation method, and now we have learned about the periodic acid method. This is the periodic acid method. What is the periodic acid method? So we have learned about today periodic acid method. This is a simple and elegant method which is used for the determining both the ring size of glucosides and the configuration and position of glycoside. What do you mean the periodic acid method? Periodic acid method. So this is a simple and elegant method which is used for the determining the ring size of glucosides and the configuration and position of the glycoside linkage. Periodic acid method is determining both the ring size of glucosides and the configuration and position of glucoside linkage. That is the glycoside linkage. Now, this method was originally developed by the Melfred in 1928. This is the scientist Melfred. It is discovered in 1928, and so it is called periodic acid method. And it is based on the simple fact that periodic acid splits the following types of compound. Some type of compound is splits like in the periodic acid method. So, what is the periodic acid method? So, this is the simple and elegant method which is used for the determining of the ring size of glucosides and the configuration and position of the glycoside linkage. Periodic acid method determines the ring size of glucoside and the configuration and position of glycosides linkage. So, it is called periodic acid method. First discovered by the Melfred in 1928. This method, it is called periodic acid method, and some type of compound following the periodic acid method. So now we have learned about the example of periodic acid method. This is the first compound RCHOH and R-CHOH. This is the simple type of alcohol. Is reacted with the periodic acid. This is the periodic acid or hydroiodic acid, forming the aldehyde and two type of the aldehydes. This is the first and this is the second. So periodic acid method in the simple type of alcohol is reacted with the periodic acid and to produce some type of aldehydes. That's like alcohol and ketone group is reacted with the also periodic acid method form aldehyde compound and also acid compound. Next one, two types of carbonyl group attached with the methyl group reacted with the periodic acid to form two type of carboxylic acid. This is the carboxylic acid. And finally, tertiary alcohol and aldehyde group. This type of compound is reacted with the periodic acid to form a formaldehyde and formic acid. This is the formaldehyde. This is the formaldehyde. And this is the formic acid. This is the formaldehyde and this is the formic acid. So, this is the periodic acid method. In the periodic acid method, this is the method is simple and elegant and which is determining the ring size of glucoside and the configuration and position of the glycosides linkage. It is first discovered by the Melfred in 1928, and some type of the compound splits the in following types like that type of the example Now we have learned about the one example. The compound is alpha D glycosides. This is the alpha D glycosides. Now alpha D glycosides is reacted with the periodic acid. This is the periodic acid. Alpha D glycosides is reacted with the periodic acid and to produce a intermediate product. Alpha D glycosides is reacted with the periodic acid, 2 mole of periodic acid, and to produce a first intermediate product. This is our first intermediate product. Is reacted with the bromine water and strontium carbonate. This is the bromine water. And strontium carbonate. This is the strontium carbonate and bromine water. Now our first intermediate product is reacted with the bromine water and strontium carbonate and to produce our second intermediate product. This is the first compound, this is the second compound, and this is the third compound. This is the third compound, but our second intermediate product. Now our second intermediate product is reacted with the sulfuric acid and bromine water. This is the bromine water. And finally we have produced two different type of compounds. The first was oxalic acid and the second was D minus glyceric acid. This is the glyceric acid. This is our fourth number compound and this is our fifth number compound, and this is our final product. This is the periodic acid method example. So first of all, alpha D glycosides is reacted with the periodic acid. This is the compound number 1. Alpha D glycosides is reacted with the periodic acid and to produce our first intermediate product, and this is the compound number 2. Now our first intermediate product is reacted with the bromine water and strontium carbonate and to produce our second intermediate product, and this is the compound number 3. Now our second intermediate product is reacted with the sulfuric acid and bromine water, and finally we have produced the oxalic acid and D minus glyceric acid. This is the compound number 4 and this is the compound number 5, and this method is also called the periodic acid method. So this is the example of periodic acid method. So periodic acid method is used for the determining of the ring size of the glycosides and the configuration and position of the glycoside linkage. So this is the periodic acid method. Now we have learned about some various type of example of periodic acid method. Now we have learned about the alpha D glycosides is reacted with the periodic acid method and to produce oxalic acid and D minus glyceric acid, the compound number 1 to 5. And now this is the compound number 6, methyl alpha D glycofuranoside. This is the methyl alpha D glucofuranoside. It's reacted with the periodic acid. Periodic acid, and to produce a 7 number compound and also formaldehyde. The 7 number compound and also formaldehyde. This is the alpha D arabinopyranoside. This is the alpha D arabinopyranoside. Methyl alpha D glucofuranoside is reacted with the periodic acid and to produce a formaldehyde and alpha D arabinopyranoside. The structure number 7, the compound number 7. Now we have learned about the periodic acid method. The compound methyl alpha D glucofuranos. This is the structure number 7, and this is the formaldehyde is the our 8 number. Now our structure number 8, and it is reacted with the periodic acid method. Periodic acid method is reacted with our compound number 8. This is formaldehyde and this, and to produce finally formic acid and methoxy diglycoaldehyde. This is the formic acid. This is the formic acid and methoxy diglycoaldehyde. This is the structure of diglycoaldehyde. The structure number 9 and the structure number 10 also same. This compound and this compound is also same structure. So we have learned about the periodic acid method. The structure number 6, the compound number 6, methyl alpha D glucopyranoside is reacted with the periodic acid and to produce a formaldehyde and alpha D arabinopyranoside. Now structure number 8 or our compound number 8 is reacted with the periodic acid and to produce a formic acid and methoxy diglycoaldehyde. Now we have learned about the structure number 11 to 12, compound number 11 and compound number 1. This is the alpha D glycoside. Also same structure, the structure number 11 and the structure number 1, compound 1 and compound 11. Alpha D glycosides is reacted with the periodic acid and to produce a structure number 12. This is the same to same like that our structure number 2. This is the our compound number 2. So this is the some kind of example in a periodic acid method. It is the determining the ring size of the glucosides and the linkage of the glycosides. So this is the periodic acid method, and we have learned about the some kind of example of a periodic acid method.